Hello students, today we are going to consider the topic that is design of an assembler, where the first part is consisting of the overview of assembly process. Actually, assembly is a translation process which is divided into two phases. The first phase is called as analysis phase and second phase is called as synthesis phase. Now we will see each and every phase in detail. This particular phase going to determine the meaning of source language statement. The primary function of analysis phase is to build the symbol table. Now you can say that what this particular symbol table consisting of. The symbol table contains the symbolic names and corresponding addresses. So it associates the memory addresses with the symbolic names and the program statement. This particular function is called as the memory allocation. Here a data structure that is called as location counter is going to be used to implement the memory allocation. It holds the address of next memory word in the target program. It is initialized to a constant given in the start statement. Before this, we learn about the concept that is called as assembler directives. One of them is called as start, having the syntax of start followed by some constant value. So, whenever we are going to use this particular assembler directive, it is going to initialize the particular constant to the value that is followed by the start symbol. After that, the LC is going to be updated as per the length of the different instruction. The next data structure, that is mnemonic table, is going to be used to hold the mnemonic, numeric code and the length of each opcode. Now we will see the task those are performed by the analysis phase. Before this, we have already studied about the statement format. The statement format consists of the label, the mnemonic opcode followed by operand 1 and operand 2. So the first task of the analysis phase is that it is going to separate the label, mnemonic opcode and operand fields of the given statement. Now if the label is present in the statement, it is going to insert the pair symbol with its corresponding LC content into the symbol table. As we know that symbol table consisting of two entries, that is symbol name and corresponding address. After that, it is going to validate the mnemonic opcode by searching it into the mnemonic table. At the same time, it has to validate the register code or the condition code. As we know that the register code numeric values are 1 to 4 and condition code values are varying from 1 to 6. And the last task that is performed by the analysis phase is it is going to update the LC content by considering the memory requirement of the statement. Now we will see the tasks those are performed by the synthesis phase. It is going to construct the machine instruction for each assembly statement. It uses the symbol table that is prepared by the analysis phase. Now the first task that is performed is obtain the machine code which correspond to the mnemonic from the mnemonic table. Second is obtain the numeric code for register or condition code. Like for A register, B register, C register and D register, the corresponding numeric codes are 1 to 4 and for the condition codes, the corresponding values are 1 to 6. After that, it is going to obtain the memory address of symbol from the symbol table. And at the last, it is going to synthesize the machine instruction. So these are the four tasks those are performed by the synthesis phase. Now this particular diagram shows the use of data structures by analysis and the synthesis phase. The mnemonic table is fixed and it is going to be accessed by both of the phases, that is analysis phase and the synthesis phase. Symbol table is prepared by the analysis phase and it is going to be used by the synthesis phase. So you can see the content of this mnemonic table is it consisting of mnemonic code and their corresponding numeric codes with the proper length. And as we know that the symbol table consisting of the symbol name and corresponding addresses. Now the next concept that we are going to see is called as a pass structure of the assembler. So it is basically a pass of assembler. A complete scan of the source program by an assembler is called as a pass of assembler. So it is possible that in the assembly process, the particular source program may be scanned maybe for one time or more than one time. And according to these, there are two assembly schemes as per the number of passes. The first scheme is called as single pass assembler, where it is going to scan the complete source program only once, and the second one is two pass or the multi-pass assembler, where the source program may be scanned by more than one time. Now we will see the single pass assembler. In this scheme, each assembly statement is given to analysis phase, which validates the opcode by referring the mnemonic table and construct the symbol table and the other data structure. And after that, the statement is forwarded to the synthesis phase to synthesize the machine instruction. Now consider the particular source program where we have used the first assembler directive, that is start, followed by the constant value 101. Now what is the meaning of this particular instruction? It is going to instruct the assembler to initialize the location counter to the value 101. The symbol A will be get added into the symbol table with the content of location counter as the address, and that address is having the value of 101. Then the location counter is going to updated by the length of the symbol A. Now in this instruction we have defined A DS1 means it requires the one word storage location for the symbol A. So the next location counter will be get incremented by 1. So for the next symbol, that is B, we are getting the particular location counter value as 102. Same we are going to get the value of 103 for the next symbol, that is result. Now the next part is consisting of the instruction read A. The read A instruction is going to be validated by the analysis phase and it is going to be given to the synthesis phase, which is going to synthesize the instruction. The synthesis phase is going to construct the machine instruction, that is 090 and 101. Now here the location counter is 104. We know that for the read instruction we are having the instruction set showing the value of corresponding numeric code is 09. The first operand over here will become 0 and according to the symbol table we are getting the address of A as 101. So it is going to build the instruction 090 and 101. Now the location counter will be get incremented by 1. So for this instruction the location counter will become 105. Read instruction is having the value of 9. The first operand will be 0 and the address of symbol B that we will get from the symbol table is 102. Now the next instruction is having the location counter of 106 where 04 stands for the move register. Now A register is having the value of 1 and from the symbol table we will get the address of A, that is 101. The location counter will be getting incremented by 1. So for the next instruction, add is having the corresponding value of 0, 1. Now here A register is having the value 1 and B is having the corresponding address of 102, which we will get from the symbol table. The next instruction will be move M, A register and result, where move M is having the particular value of 0, 5, A register is having the corresponding value of 1 and result is having the value of 103, which we will get again from the symbol table. After that we are going to print the result. So for the print we are going to use 10. The first operand will be 0 and result is having the corresponding address of 103. And the last statement will consisting of the location counter 110 and the instruction will be 000 and 000. So from this source table it is going to generate the target code with the corresponding location counter and corresponding machine instruction. Now we are going to study over here a particular problem that is called as the forward reference problem. In this particular program, if we are going to look for the first instruction, it is going to store the value of A and B symbol with corresponding addresses as 101 and 102. The corresponding instructions read A and read B is having this particular target code. Move R, A register A is having the corresponding target instruction as 041101. Then we are going to use the compare, where corresponding opcode is 06, A register is having the value of 1 and we are getting the address of B from the symbol table as 102. Now over here the particular instruction BCLTLB cannot be translated because the label LB cannot be found in the symbol table. Up to this we are having only two entries in the symbol tables. Those are A and B with corresponding addresses as 101 and 102. The symbol LB will be inserted with its address in the symbol table only when it encounters in the label part of the statement. That means if the symbol is used before its declaration, synthesis phase cannot continue its task, and such a problem is called as the forward reference problem. The forward reference problem in the single pass assembler can be overcome by using the back patching method. Now we will see single pass using the back patching. In this method, the forward reference problem can be avoided by maintaining a separate table, and it is called as the table of incomplete instruction, that is TII. The operand field of an instruction containing a forward reference is left blank initially. The entry instruction address with the symbol is inserted into the table of incomplete information. The address of forward reference symbol is added when it encounters in the label part. Now in this program, the instruction BCLTLB can only be partially synthesized because LB is a forward reference symbol. LB over here is a forward reference symbol. The entry 107 with the symbol LB is inserted into this table of incomplete information. Also, the particular instruction BCAB any over is also partially synthesized, and the entry 109 with the symbol over will be get added into the table of incomplete information. In this way, the TII maintains the list of instructions which are incomplete, and at last the symbol table would contain the addresses of all the symbols defined in the source program. Before this we looked for this particular two symbols having the corresponding addresses as 101 and 102. Whenever we will come across the label LB, the particular address will be 110, and at the last the particular symbol over will get the address 111. So at the end, the two incomplete instructions which are mentioned in the table of incomplete information are completed by referring the symbol addresses from the symbol table. Thank you students. Thank you for the careful listening.